So, you just started your log journey and you don't know what to expect. Well, come a little closer, let me tell you a secret. I got you. Did you think anything less? Like, I got you. Let me tell you guys what you can expect within your first year in your log journey. So if you're interested in seeing what those things are, keep on watching. Hey guys, it's your girl Sofineee. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are not, you already know what it is. Let's get into this video. Okay, so I'm gonna spill you guys the tea on what you guys can expect on this first year. Just keep in mind, some things you may see and some you may not, because everybody's journey is different. Some of them I didn't even expect, but I know that other people did, so that's why I'm putting it in this whole list of things. So yeah, just take everything here that I say with a grain of salt. If it applies, go ahead. If it doesn't, let it fly. The first thing is definitely unraveling. I started my log journey with comb coils, so that was one thing that I was always constantly dealing with. If you start with two-strand twists, you will still experience the unraveling, like the two-strand twist untwisting, but it won't be as common as if you were to have comb coils. But definitely know that that is something that is normal and you will have to manage. Tip that I have is that if you start with comb coils or even with two-strand twists, whichever way, I washed my hair with wig caps, and my hair is pretty short, so I started really short. I would put a wig cap on my head for wash days and wash in circular motions, so that, like, as I am, because I retwisted my hair to the right, so in right circular motions, and that is how I washed. I still experienced unraveling, but it wasn't like completely like I had a whole afro at the end of my wash day. Like, it was a little bit better. Throughout your days, if you notice that your hair is unraveling, untwisting, whatever, simply just twist it back up. Like, it's gonna take some time for your hair to get adjusted, because it's like, what's going on? I'm not used to this, especially if you're a loose natural for so long. Yeah, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna get with the program in the first couple of months, but it definitely will over time. All you gotta do is keep on retwisting, keep on training that hair to know that you're supposed to be tightly coiled. Okay, next is shrinkage. Yo, just so you know, shrinkage is real. Hair will always seem to be shorter than it naturally is, and that's okay. But shrinkage is a good thing. So just to keep in mind, each time that you spray your hair with water, with your misting bottle, that the water will weigh the hair down, bring it down a little bit, and then the shrinkage is what's going to bring the hair right back up and snap it up. And each time that it has that shrinkage and it goes right back up, there's more entanglements, there's more knotting, there's more messiness happening within the lock, and that is what's going to make your hair lock faster. So keep on spraying and keep on getting that shrinkage. Just keep in mind that your hair actually grows. I personally feel like our hair grows faster while it's locked. So just know that even though that you might have that shrinkage the first couple of months, when that hair drop, baby, it's gonna drop and your hair is gonna grow so much faster. Next, we're gonna talk about some budding. Budding is when, like, you have, like, well, I can't show you all my hair. I'll have a picture here of budding, so you guys can see what budding is. All in all, the little bulge, the expansion of the little part of the lock, is creating a net so that the shedded hair can fall right into it and then just get some thickness and add some to your lock strand. I know some people don't like the budding process because of the little random bulbs you get in your locks, but it's part of the process. If you want your hair to mature, it's gonna have to happen. So that's just gonna have to happen. If in the beginning of your process and you don't really like too much of what's going on, maybe getting head wraps will help. I know I wore wigs for the first couple of months of my log journey as well, so just finding different things to maneuver and get through those stages, because it could be intense. That you're going to experience is frizz. Frizz is unavoidable. You are going to experience frizz through and through. Throughout your whole log journey, I'm still experiencing frizz. It's literally gonna happen. I know it happens most after I spray my hair with water, my vitamin E oil. So that's when most of my frizz come out. But it's necessary. It's part of the process. It's part of your hair. Like, frizz is not something. I know a lot of people like to style their hair to minimize frizz and keep the retwist lasting a little bit longer. Do that to an extent. I don't recommend keeping in the style longer than a week or two. But then, yeah, let your hair do what it needs to do, because even after your hair is matured, you can still experience thinning, you can still experience breakage. So just knowing that health is going to be important throughout your whole journey. As long as you have locks, health has to be important. Bro, this next one is outside noise. When I tell you the amount of noise I got when I locked my hair in the beginning, it was ridiculous. Will just be all up in your hair business. They're gonna ask you,
why are you locking? What made you want to do that? Or you should have left your hair loose, natural. Or you should never locked your hair. You look crazy.
like, it was just a whole bunch. Like, is your hair even locking? Like, I would spray my hair and then they would see like have the frizz and all of that stuff, and it was all bunched up, and they'd be like, is your hair even locking? Mind your business. It is. It's part of the process. Really don't understand the steps and what's going on in the process, so they feel like, oh, if it doesn't look automatically like matured locked, your hair's not locking, and that's not the case. I just want to tell you, don't let any of that get to you. Don't pay them any mind. Keep your mind on the focused, stay on task, and making sure that you're going through all these stages, and just don't mind the noise. Honestly, it's gonna get to you sometimes. Don't mind the noise. In addition to that will be the unsolicited advice. Like, people want to feel like, oh, let me give you this advice. Oh, maybe you should use this shampoo, use this conditioner, use this oil or whatever. Like, you're not locked. You don't know what's going to work for me. Let me go through this journey on my own. Let me experience and learn through things. Let me do my own research. Like, come on now. You need to take this time to learn, do your own research, see what your hair likes, see what your hair doesn't like, because your hair may like one thing when it was a loose natural and it may not like the same thing when you're locked. So just taking that time to learn and see what actually works for you. Doing something and it's making a difference in hair, don't matter what nobody has to say. Keep on doing what you're doing. Like, I can recommend something, and if you feel like it doesn't work for you, that's all on you, boo-boo. That's your hair journey. You do what needs to work for you. You do what works for you, and you do what makes you happy. I can only recommend things that works for me and what I've seen work for other people, so you can take anything that I say with a grain of salt. I will not take it personally. Is that your locks will be locking at different rates. So with my hair, when I was locking my hair, well, during my lock journey, the back locked a lot faster than the front. And in the beginning, I was like, what's going on? I didn't understand that it was like different parts of my hair, but it makes sense. If you birth 50 babies, you can expect them all to be on the same developmental level the whole time. Similar to your hair. These are our babies. So they're all going to be doing their own little thing. They're all going to be on their own little journey, the same how we're on an overall lock journey. They're on their own little journey to locking. And so we just need to take that time to let them do what they need to do, because your hair knows what it needs to do. You just need to leave it alone. Spray some water and leave it alone. That's literally all you have to do. Next is that as you go on through the months and the weeks progress, you are going to notice that your locks will have some weight added onto them. This is also normal, so that means we are getting further and further along in our journey. Our hair is locking, like everything is going on, is going the way it needs to go. So locks are literally just shedded hair falling into our lock strands. So we're supposed to lose about 50 to 100 strands a day, but with locks we don't lose any. So as they're shedding from our scalp, they're falling into our lock strands, which is what makes them get thicker, fuller, have all this hair in between it. That is what is happening. So when you are not losing the hair strands, they are getting heavier. They're adding more hair onto those locks, and that is why your locks will get heavier. That's why, like, as your hair gets longer and longer, your hair gets heavier. It's a lot more weight. There are people that complain about, like, people 10-15 years into their lock journey complaining about back pain, neck pain, because of the weight of the hair. Like, you're carrying 15 years worth of hair that never left your scalp on your head. It's gonna be heavy. Next thing you may experience is unsealed ends. So you may have, like, your hair, like this is a sealed end. It may be curly. So if you have curly ends, your hair is still not fully, like, it's not like completely enclosed into the lock. That is something that you may experience. I know that my ends were one of the last things that would completely seal up and lock. So I knew that was something. And there's also those people on Instagram that I see, they actually comb their ends just to keep it curly, add their product and make it curly. Some people, that's a style, that's a lifestyle for them. Depending on what you decide to do with your curly ends, if you want to leave them, if you want to seal them, if you want to, some people cut them. But I do recommend, if you do end up cutting them, making sure that you find a part in the lock that is already sealed and then cutting. Because once you cut it and it's not completely sealed, gonna be a whole bunch of unraveling. It's gonna be like that part needs to start all over again. So just make sure that you have a sealed part if you decide to cut it. If you decide to leave the curly ends, leave it and let it lock on its own. Or you can just comb it out like other people, add their product, and make that curly end a style. So the next thing you might experience is something called bunching. I think I have a couple here in my hair that I can show you guys what bunching is. Okay, I have a little bit here. As you guys can see, like I have a couple of knots in my locks. If you guys can see that, you can see with the white background. This is what bunching is, but you will have a lot bigger ones when you're starting off. And this is more so due to the fact that if you don't palm roll all throughout your lock strands, I did for most of my locks, like something like this, like you won't really see that much bunching, but there were some that I wasn't as consistent with while I was retwisting my hair, so that's why I have a couple that are bunched up like that. So unless you really care about having those bumps and whatever in your locks, palm roll throughout your whole lock strand, and that'll just make it have a nice even and equal amount of hair like throughout the locks, so it's nice and even. You don't have parts of the lock that are bigger than others, that they don't have these little lumps and bumps. If that's something that you don't mind, then you don't have to worry about it. Just retwist your roots and leave it at that. But they also fix themselves over time. So if it's not something that you're really tedious about, it'll correct itself over time with more locks and more shedding of hair falling into them and making it a nice, even, smooth lock. Something that you're also going to experience is going to be like an influx of self-love. Like I feel like, at least for me, it wasn't until my hair got a little bit long that I realized I was okay, I'm a cute girl with my locks. So but in the beginning I did feel like I wasn't really feeling myself. I didn't really, I was like I don't know, because this is a new journey. It is really new. It's something that if you're not used to having natural hair texture, if you're not used to having short hair, if you start short, it will be a little rough. But as my hair got longer, I did experience more self-love, more appreciation for my beauty and for my naturalness, because I'm not always going to have products in my hair. I'm not always going to have a retwist. My hair will look a little crazy sometimes. So just appreciating and loving yourself throughout the journey, even when your hair is not done. I was used to having the silky straight hair because I had my hair relaxed for so long. And so now that I have this thick, coarse hair, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. But there are also so many communities on Instagram, so many communities on YouTube. I have a community as well, so down in the comments, you always comment down different things. People reassure you. You can follow me on Instagram as well, and I can also help you guys. I don't have a broadcast channel. I don't know if I should. Maybe that might be something I'm going to work on for 2025 throughout this year. But yeah, next thing that I didn't really experience, but I know that other people have as well, is lock envy. So being able, like, comparison is really the thief of joy. So like you would see somebody's locks and be like, oh, I really wish I had my locks like that. That looks bomb, or whatever. But you don't know what she went through or what he went through for him to get them locks looking like that. You don't know if he went through 30 hours of washing, retwisting, and doing all of that. Like, you don't know what they went through, but you only see the end product. The grass ain't always green on the other side. So it's just a matter of, just don't compare yourself. I know there are going to be people that you may be inspired by, like you may go, oh, I like how that lock look, maybe this is something that I can try for myself. But don't get disappointed when it doesn't actually come out the same way, because people's hair textures is different, people react to different products differently. Just keep in mind that is their journey and this is yours. Focus on your journey. I would recommend, if you do feel like you want to have some changes, maybe within the amount of locks that you have or with different things, do it early on within this first year, because before your locks actually mature, it would be a lot harder for you to restart or do different things. So within this first year, try to do whatever changes, do whatever you want to try, experiment as much as you want, not with color, not with too much products, but lock wise, like if you want to focus on like maybe parting wise, if you want to work on number count of locks, so different things like that, I would recommend you change early on. But otherwise, yeah, if you wait a little bit too late, if you wait a little bit longer, it may be a little bit hard for you to change and manipulate your hair a little bit more. I'm almost done. I know this video is a little bit longer. So the next one I'm going to talk about is bad hair days. And as I mentioned before, we all have our moments where we just don't feel our best, and that's even without locks. People with locks have it, people without locks. Bad hair days are something that everybody experiences. There will be times where you're just gonna feel like, I don't feel like the baddest, I don't feel like the prettiest girl ever, and it happens. I feel like, honestly, just don't internalize it. Just make sure that you tell yourself, like, listen, this is just a phase, this is just a moment. Do something that you enjoy. Try to distract yourself, do a hobby, watch a movie, eat some snacks, do something, because I feel like overall it's just a temporary moment that you're gonna feel like that, because literally the next day you might not feel the same way. If you need to, put a head wrap on, put a scarf on, put a hat on, do something, just do your makeup, do something just to bring yourself uplift yourself. Last but not least, the last thing that I would recommend, that I would say that you're gonna experience during your first year of being locked, of course you're gonna save some money. Like, you're not spending money on hot tools, you're not spending money on so many products, you're not spending money on installs, wigs, weaves, like all this hair. You're just focused on your hair. The most you would spend is probably like products and that will last you a couple of months. Like, oil can last you a couple of months, shampoo will last you a couple of months, like doing things like that. Like, you're not constantly spending money each so much. Not styling, manipulating your hair every day. The most you do is spray your hair with water every day, and water is free. Get it from your sink, get it from your shower. Water is free. You can do that. Well, water is not technically free because we pay for water, but y'all know what I mean. But yeah, all in all, those are all the things I would predict that you would experience, because I've experienced it and some people have also experienced it throughout their first year of being locked. If you have anything else that you experienced, that you're currently experienced, or that you experienced as in the beginning of your lock journey, comment them down below. We'll love to hear and see what other people have experienced throughout their first year. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Stay cute and stay fine.